Yo up guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to be talking about my Las Vegas experience. Now this experience goes all the way back into last year, November, and which I went to go for my fall break. Alright? So let's just get started. Alright, first in this story, Vegas waking up for it was probably the worst thing I had to do because when you first get told about going on vacation and your body's just like, oh, yay, you're so excited to go to a new place that you've never been before. Yeah, I was going through that, so I had like 5 hours of sleep, or not even. I had like 4 hours of sleep, and it was terrible. And I was like, still really excited. I don't know how I didn't feel so lethargic throughout the day, but like I was so hyped for this trip that I was literally just like, oh, yay! I'm not gonna feel anything, and I'm just gonna go onto the airport and we can go there. So yeah, what's next is that we boarded the plane, right? And then when we went onto the plane, I immediately went to sleep. Like I was like, oh, thank goodness, and I was on the window seat, and I fell asleep. So yeah, sleep was that comfortable? Not really, but it was an experience that I've never felt before. It was really comfy the way I was sleeping in. It felt really awkward, but it was really comfy for some reason. But yeah, before anyone points it out, my Roblox is in fact really laggy. It's been really laggy for the past couple days. I think it's because my PC's dirty and I gotta clean it. So yeah, just ignore that. Okay, so the flight towards Las Vegas was mainly just land. Like, that's all I saw. Just a bunch of beautiful, beautiful clouds and just a lot of land. That's all I saw. I saw some, big patches of lakes on the floor. Not on the floor, on the ground. I was like, oh, that's so cool. But when we got near Vegas, that thing was so tiny. It was like the smallest strip of just an area. And I was like, that's Vegas? And my mom was just like, yep, that's Vegas. I was like, isn't it supposed to be huge? But then when you land, it's obviously going to be bigger because you're there in person. So I was like, sweet, we are here in Vegas. So we got off. I'm a Canadian. I'm a Canadian boy, and and the difference between you, anyways, guys, that weather difference, it was like 23 degrees in Vegas. It was like really, really hot. Well, not like really hot, but like it was hot from the difference between like cold in Canada. And I was like, oh my goodness, what a difference. So when I went to Vegas last year, that was when the infamous Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul was like about to was being advertised to. And not gonna lie, it was pretty funny going everywhere, just seeing it, the menacing Mike Tyson versus just Jake Paul there. I was like, man, they're advertising this everywhere. Like, everywhere that you went, it'd be like, Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul. Don't forget about this unforgettable match. Yeah, that match was a letdown, wasn't it, guys? Yeah, anyways, also, when I got there, we drove to the Sphere. The Las Vegas Sphere. You know the giant LED board? You know, the one with the giant yellow face on it? Yeah, that thing. I wanted to go see that because, that's, the only thing I, heard about that was cool in Vegas. I know there's a lot of things in Vegas that are cool, like the whole slot machines there. But I really wanted to see the Las Vegas Sphere because that thing is cool. I wanted to see some coolness. But yeah, going to see the Sphere, we had to navigate through this very, very rich looking area, and I felt really, really poor moving through the area just to get to the Sphere. If you live in Vegas and are somehow watching this video, you probably know what I'm talking about. That spot made me feel like I was really broke and I did not belong there or walking in that general area. I felt like a literal peasant that was tasting the richness for the very first time. I felt like a poor person who got handed $50 for the first time in years. And I was like, oh my goodness, people live here? But yeah, we went to this mall. I really don't remember what it was called. at all, but all I know is that it looked expensive inside. If people know what mall I'm talking about, it's the one with like Venice on the inside. I don't know if that narrows it down, but it was the one with Venice inside, like, you know, the Italy Canal, water, the thing where people sing in the boats. Yeah, that it was that, and it was honestly pretty cool. Like, it was pretty nice just to see, like, you know, what they did in the U.S. And I was like, sweet, this place is amazing. I should come here more. Spoiler, I do not want to return. Anyways, in that mall, there was this one shop where my mom and family relative wanted to stay at or get a drink from, and when I went inside, that place stunk. Like, it's like you grabbed a bottle of some woman's fragrance slash perfume and you just dumped it out onto the floor. Like, it was that strong. Like, how can you work in a like place that smells like that? I couldn't even stay in there. I had to stay outside watching the like people like doing the Venice stuff in the water. You know, singing in their boats, singing a wonderful tune, which like almost all of them did. And I was like, wow, this is nice. Cause I couldn't even stay in that dang shop. I was gonna pass out if I stayed in there. Goodness gracious. Anyways, you're probably wondering like where I stayed at, and it was the Luxor. You know the giant pyramid hotel that what Vegas has? Yeah, that one. We stayed in that one, and oh my goodness, that place was insane. That place was all about, you know, it's just a pyramid. It's all about Egypt, and I was like, wow, this place is huge on the inside. Like, if you were to stand in the middle and look up, you can see all like the areas that, and on this like what's it called? Like in the walls, it was like the rooms, hotel rooms that people stayed at, and I was like, oh my goodness, this is insane. Like, mind you, first time visiting Vegas, so of course I'm gonna think everything is insane when I go there. But yeah, this thing was crazy. But yeah, when we checked in, I asked my mom how much it was for the hotel, and she said a reasonable price. Now, I don't know if you know anything about Vegas, but if you have any common sense about Vegas, that place is freaking expensive, dog. That place will make you go broke. No wonder why people go there and gamble their lives away, because they have nothing else to do. But oh my goodness, that place is just cash grabs right then and there. You just land at the airport, boom, you can spend your money right then and there. They don't give you like a second to like soak in Las Vegas air. No, they're just like, hey, you want to gamble? We have several options. But yeah, that was about it. By the way, if you are under the age of 21, I would not recommend going to Vegas unless you want to do like 5 things maybe, tops in Vegas. Vegas is a place where people call the Sin City. And what I mean by that is that all you do there is basically gamble, take pictures with half-naked women, or you can just smoke your lungs away and do whatever the heck other things are in that. In freaking Vegas. Like, oh my goodness. That was the most bored I've ever had on the trip. I was like, oh, this is going to be so fun. No, the only thing that I found fun was the Viva Vision lights that were in that one area. That was like the only thing cool there. When we were walking in the Fremont area, where like you look up and then there's the giant screen and then there's like all the restaurants and casinos next to you. That place, that was like the only cool thing there. Like, that's it. That was the only fun I've ever had in there in Vegas. Because what else am I supposed to do? I couldn't gamble. I couldn't drink. I couldn't visit anywhere because there was a casino in it, and I couldn't step in it or stay there for a little while because they would have been like, "Hey, what are you doing? You're not allowed to be doing that. Get out of here." They'd kick me out or arrest me, and I didn't want that. I don't want to go to Vegas just to get arrested. Well, there was a restaurant in Vegas, and it was really expensive. I'm not going to talk about that because that experience, I didn't pay for it, but that experience really pissed me off. That was the worst experience I've ever had in my life. Never going there ever again. Not that I can afford it, but you know. He's going back to that Viva Vision lights, like the giant screen where you just looked up. There's a huge screen there, just displaying funny-looking ads. Yeah, that thing. When we went there, there's this thing called a light show that happens at the Viva Vision's lights. And I was expecting something like really, really basic, like there would just be like, oh, look at this fancy spinning wheels or something. But no, they decided to blast Katy Perry. That's what you get for waking up in Vegas song, or Welcome to Vegas song. And oh my goodness, I don't know how people's ears work in Vegas, but that was loud. I know there's a lot of people there, and there's people singing there, but oh my goodness, I felt like I was gonna go deaf during that. Like, they had that thing cranked to the max. Like, I'm pretty sure if you were in the next state over, you could hear that. Like, oh my gosh. That was really loud. Speaking of that general area, there was a guy in a blow-up gorilla costume. And he was like twerking everywhere. He was doing a lot of stuff. And I saw the dude on the inside. He came out and he was sweating his butt off. And oh my goodness, that was like the only cool thing there, other than like the half-naked men and women that they got there. Because just what is Vegas, dude? What is Vegas? So, in that area, there's a lot of people who smoke their lungs away, and oh my gosh, walking through that is like walking through smoke, like from a fire. All you're breathing in is just the nasties that they just be smoking away. And I swear you can feel it in your eyeballs. You can feel your eyeballs tingling away. And I really wanted to get out of that spot. I told my mom, I was like, oh my gosh, it stinks. But no, they insisted on staying there for like 20 more minutes. And I had to endure my eyes being burnt. And I did not appreciate that. There's also this spot where you can like glide across on the top. But since I'm a pretty freaking chubby dude, I didn't want to do that because I was afraid I was going to plummet and squish like 10 unfortunate people, which I did not want at all. I don't think anyone will want that. When we were like going through that Viva Vision area, Fremont area, whatever you want to call it, there was a lot of things going on. There's like magic, and then there was like this one guy for some reason. He made like a really loud like pop sound and scared the crap out of me. I thought someone had you know, something that doesn't really, something that just really harms the body, you know. And I really didn't want to experience that there. I genuinely had to turn around to check, make sure we didn't get popped that day, and I didn't want to get popped that day. Come on, I was just visiting Vegas. I didn't want no harm. Also, we gotta talk about the food. The food in Vegas is such a scam. When we went to a restaurant, we got a small container and they scooped in like 3 scoops. Very huge scoops though, but 3 scoops, enough to fill a small container. Now this container was like the size of an average human's palm. That's how big it was. And it was for almost $60 damn dollars. Almost $60 for food? Are you joking me, bro? 60? I could buy so many things where I'm at right now in Canada with those $60 that we just wasted on not even that much food. What the heck? Well, the food wasn't even that good. It was alright. It wasn't like a 10 out of 10, no, it was like a 7 out of 10. Like, it was still food, it was still good, I ate it, but oh my goodness. I feel so bad for my mom who had to fork over $100 just for that. Also, the last thing that we went to Vegas, I was looking at the Allegiant Stadium. If you don't know what that is where WrestleMania will be hosting WrestleMania 42, and that's where they hosted it last year, and I was like pretty hyped to see that. Even though it was November, and WrestleMania wasn't until like the next 5 months, it was still pretty cool seeing the arena that they were holding it in. I didn't see no WWE advertisements, but being a complete mark myself, that was pretty cool seeing it, honestly. I was like, wow, that's where it's going to be held. I wish I was here. But no, I was going to probably fork over like $32,000 if I wanted to sit there. No thanks. Also, the time we went was after the election. We saw some pretty political stuff that was there. You know, freaking ruined my mood, dude. Finally, just to top it off, we visited a lot of stores there. We visited the huge M&M store that they had there. That was amazing, by the way. all you do is just go in there, you just look at M&M's, smell the beautiful chocolate that they be making. But the best thing was the M&M dispensers. Oh my goodness, that place was so colorful. Like if you went inside, it was more colorful than this whole entire map. I'll tell you that. I was like, oh my goodness, I didn't even know that they had some of the flavors that they had. I was like, goodness gracious, this place is huge and diabetic. Finally, we visited a Coca-Cola store. What the heck? Who are you, P-Man? Get out of here, man. But yeah, we went to go see a Coca-Cola store, and it was pretty awesome. I saw a lot of Coca-Cola themed stuff, as you can probably guess, and oh my gosh, I wish I could go there again. That was like the only cool thing. That and the other two things I have listed. That's about it. And we also visited an aquarium, but that was pretty boring. Sure, it was cool. We saw a bunch of fish and octopi, octopus, a lot of those fishies. But that's about it. That was Vegas for me. Would I recommend for people under the age of 21? No, do not go. You're going to waste your time, and it was boring. All you do was just walk around. You can't interact with anything. You can't drink. You can't do nothing. Or if you're like legal age somewhere. I don't know how it works. I don't know how anything works. Because I'm a Canadian. So, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this long video of how my Vegas went. I hope you guys enjoyed this story time, and I'll see you guys in the next video.